10 years ago, a crack commando unit was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit. These men promptly escaped from maximum security stockade to the Los Angeles underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the A-Team.
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. But Leo's my only true friend. The rest of everyone sucks.
Yeah, they all sucked anyway.
Yeah, well, that's true. The fuck's up, man? How you doing?
Still a bit sore. So is my
from
ego.
football?
Right.
Yeah.
So is my ego, but whatever.
Yeah, that's all good. So okay, so when you fell, you hit your brakes and you lost control. How did you fall over the handlebars?
Sideways on my right side.
Did you like slide, like the bike slide from underneath you?
Something like that.
Okay. Well, thankfully those are the over the handlebars would be the worst.
Yeah.
It's like you hit the brakes too hard and then all of a sudden it catches and the bike stops, but you don't, kind of thing,
Right.
That usually ends in broken collarbones or dislocated shoulders or something not fun.
Still feel like an idiot. But,
Yeah, shit happens, bro. Shit happens. I mean, that's why you got to wear some gear, dude. That's the thing about the gear is, you know.
Yeah.
You don't wear it to look cool. You wear it to not limp for a month. Some of it looks cool. Some of the motorcycle gear looks pretty cool. Like my helmet looks cool. I'm actually editing together a video right now, believe it or not. I've been putting out these motorcycle videos like left and right lately.
Yeah, I seen the last one that you did live. Well,
yeah. The
live premiere, right? Live premiere.
The premiere, yeah, where I went up to the mountains and back.
Yep.
Shows how close it is to my house. You know what I mean? Like 14 minutes from where I'm sitting right now to like twisty ass roads in the mountains is how long it takes to get there in traffic. I don't know, man. It's going to be hard to give that up if I ever move away from here. Although I've lived in parts of Colorado where I spent years never even going to the mountains because it's just like you're busy with life and like I didn't have like a good car or a good vehicle to go up there anyway. So what's the point,
Unless you move to another mountainous region.
I mean, the only other mountainous regions that I would like to move to, I also wouldn't like to move to. It'd be like California or Oregon, Washington. And all three of those sound fucking awful these days. But so is Colorado, so I guess we're all fucked, you know what I mean?
Right, what's it? So no Montana, no what? No Montana, no Virginia, West Virginia, Kentucky.
Wyoming.
Right, Wyoming.
I don't know, maybe.
Does Utah mountains? Utah too, right?
Utah is there, yeah. Utah's pretty red, and it's right there. Utah's more desert than mountain, though, to be honest. I mean, they have mountains, don't get me wrong. But the majority of Utah is just like a giant fucking red desert or a giant fucking ancient riverbed that's a salt flat now called Bonneville. It's crazy. Have you ever been there, the Bonneville salt flats?
No.
They're insane how big they are. Like it just goes on and 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 on. You drive through it for like hours before you get to the other side. It's crazy how big it is. It was an inland sea. 12,000.
I don't think I've ever been west of the United States ever. East, mainly east. I've been.
What's the furthest west you've ever been?
West Virginia. Oh, the furthest west? I'm thinking east. Shit. Nowhere, really. I don't think I ever went past nowhere. Yeah, nowhere.
Dude, you got to do that thing from The Hobbit where you like You get to the end of the Shire, and you're like, "This is as far as I've ever gone," and then you like keep going.
Right. I think I've been nowhere. Yeah.
I mean, I've been to Hawaii, I've been to Florida, I've been to Washington D.C., been to California, been to a bunch of places in between, but that's all. I've never been to Alaska. Alaska would be cool. Dude, the thing about Alaska versus Colorado, okay, like the mountains in Alaska are taller than the ones in Colorado, right? The ones in Colorado were like 14ers. I
Uh-huh.
think I can't remember what the tallest mountain in Alaska is, but it's taller than the tallest mountain in Colorado, right? The difference is that the mountains in Colorado, the base of them is already 6,000 feet in the fucking air. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so when they go to 14,000 feet, they're only sticking up, another 8,000 feet up, which is big. That's huge. But the ones in Alaska start at sea level. So the base of the mountain is like 200 feet. Yeah, how big is Denali, Jason J? How tall? But yeah, the base of the mountain's a couple hundred feet sea level, but then it goes up to like 20,000 feet or something. I don't know what the fuck it is. It's ridiculous. I would like to go there someday. I think it'd be a fun trip. It's really the last frontier as far as the United States goes.
Yeah, I was supposed to go to Minnesota, but I never went. That would have been as west as I ever gotten. So other than that, it's been what? Michigan, Indiana, Kentucky, West Virginia, South Carolina. Did I go
Yeah,
to Ohio before?
20,310 feet. There you go. Fucking crazy tall. Bro,
Yeah.
you need to get on one of them fucking trains, man. That's the way to travel.
Oh yeah.
Because you can get on the train and yeah, it takes a little bit longer to get there. But you can get up and you can walk around and you can get a beer at the bar or you can get a sandwich at the like while the train's moving. You don't even have to get off the train to eat food. They've got like a fucking, like little restaurant thing inside of the train. You can get a sandwich and a coffee or something.
Yep. That'd be the best one. Yep.
And the train tracks go in like cool places sometimes. Like some of the, I mean, especially if you go over the mountains, like there's some cool fucking areas that the trains go. You don't really see from roads. I don't know. Like flying, obviously, you get there the quickest. And flying often is the cheapest. Not always, but often. But, man, flying, you just feel like a fucking sardine packed into a fucking tin can. They charge you for every little fucking thing. You got to park your car. Oh, that's money. You got a bag. Hey, that's not included with the ticket. Hey, you wanted a soda? That costs money too. Oh, you wanted to fucking eat food when you got to the fucking, to the place? Well, it's 3 times as much as it would be if you ate outside of the airport. Like they get you. Unless you like starve yourself before you go and fucking wear 3 layers of clothing so you don't have to pack anything, you just fucking wear it.
I don't do planes at all.
What's up, faggots?
Homoerotica.
Let the record show you responded.
They did say what up. So, I mean, when you know,
What you all up to? How's things?
Doing all right. Just feeding some dogs. Go out a few minutes late.
Feeding the dogs. How many dogs do you have?
You don't want to know.
No, I would like to know. How many dogs do you... Literally, how many dogs do you have?
Currently 16.
Brother. Why? Why 16 dogs? Holy cow.
5 of them are set to be adopted out here shortly.
So 11 dogs. Again.
We save them off the kill list and find them new homes. We've been doing that for a few years now.
Well, that's
We'll
cool, man.
save them off the kill list from being like. There's one that was killed the other day just because they had a hole in their lip. The place didn't want to patch it up and try to find them a home, so they just killed it. So we save dogs off the kill list. If they need patching up, we patch them up, and then we find them new homes. Some of them are literally just waiting to be transported up north, where they have a lot of adopters, but not a lot of dogs. We've actually sent, I don't know, half a dozen or so up to New England area.
Crazy. That's cool, man. They pay you a bunch of money when they bring them to New England or whatever, or like, did they pay you anything? I guess. I'm sure you don't even get your money back, but
honestly, a lot of the fosters that we work through, they pay for all of that bills. Even like the one we had raising money for her leg amputation a while back, we just kind of gave that money and reimbursed her, and they'll pay for their doctor's visits, any medication they need. The ones that I just fed, the foster that's helping with that one, sent over a big old bag of dog food and a couple cases of canned puppy food. So yeah, I mean, it's not like we're taking on the financial burden all by ourselves. If we pay for something, we get reimbursed.
I guess that was the main thing that I was worried about for you is like taking that many dogs is not cheap, and like all the vet bills and other things that are.
Oh God, no!
Like one dog, like a fucking one dog can cost you thousands of dollars when something happens. Let alone.
Oh, trust me, I know because one of my dogs, that's actually mine, not that I'm fostering, was attacked by one of our old foster dogs, and she almost lost her front leg because of it and her life. So I know the bills can get pretty fucking expensive really fast. It's worse than human care almost. But we love doing it. We love, rescuing all the dogs we can. We were rich, we'd have it on a larger, grander scale.
Pigar dropped in $2. Thanks, man. It says, any new fancy lever guns? Yankees voice. I only have one lever gun. You guys have any lever guns?
No.
No, but I want some.
Yes.
I'm not 103, so
You've got one lead on steel. What do you got, brother?
I have a Marlin 336 and 35 Remington and a Henry all-weather and 4570.
Oh, man, you're fancy. You're fucking fancy.
You gotta be fancy occasionally in life.
But I would totally buy one, though.
Mine's a Rossi. I forget the model number, but it's a 357 Magnum.
Isn't it like a 92 or 96?
Yeah, it's a 92. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's a cool gun. I like it. It's fancy and shiny. I barely ever shoot it. I refinished the stock on it and made it fucking like mirror polished fucking like gloss on it. Now, like every time you touch it, you put fingerprints all over it. So I like to fucking like clean it and then put it away and not touch it.
Yeah, right. That's the problem when you got shiny guns like that. Is I'm anal about that too. I can't stand smudges or smears or. But yes, Welper, it was Kira. Thank you. Yeah, she's doing good. She's actually made a full recovery from that horrible incident. She's running around now. And NC Lucky even back me up and said they kill every dog that comes into the shelter where he lives. That's everywhere, especially in Texas. Dallas, Fort Worth, and San Antonio in Texas are the fucking worst. They get paid to kill dogs. No shit. They get paid for how many dogs they kill. So they just kill as many as they can.
That's terrible.
So that's why, we do what we do.
How much do you pay?
There's a kill shelter in Denver called the Denver Dumb Friends League that they keep the dogs there for a certain amount of time and do what they can. But if the population of dogs is too high or the dog has been there for too long, they will eventually euthanize them. And man, I had a terrier. No, he wasn't a terrier. It was a border collie, is what he was. And he was a pain in the ass. He was a great dog. He was super smart, but he was a pain in the ass who needed way more attention and energy than I had time to give him as a newly single father of 2 children, raising them by myself and working a full-time job. And then I had the dog all of a sudden by myself too.
Oh, I know it gets a bit overwhelming.
And
Trust me.
I was willing to deal with it, and like clean the messes and take care of the dog when I had time. But when I would leave for work, he'd bark his head off and he'd tear up the apartment and fucking make a bunch of noise. And the people, like the other people in the apartment around me, would call and complain. And it got to the point where I had so many visits from animal control that if I had another visit from animal control, they were just going to take him.
That's bullshit.
And not only were they going to take him, but because I had so many complaints, I was also going to get evicted.
Oh, damn.
So I asked around. I tried to fucking give him to somebody, but I didn't know anyone who could take him. And I had to take him to the Friends League. And the thing about when you take a dog there, man, they don't tell you what happens to the dog. They don't tell you if it gets adopted out. They don't tell you if it gets euthanized. They don't tell you shit.
But see, at least you did it right. You took it somewhere where it could have a chance instead of like a lot of the fucking assholes in this country that'll just dump them in the country to make it someone else's problem, or just, open their front door and say, oops, oh my God, he got out. Oh, well, who cares? It happens all the time, dude. In fact, the last time I was at the shelter getting dog food and toys and treats for one of the ones I was fostering and getting her preventatives, some guy, the shelter was shut down to the public because of something nasty going around that the animals are getting. I think it was like a URI or something. This guy was up there trying to hand off 2 puppies that he found. Well, they weren't going to take them, so we took them. And that's who I was feeding a while ago, were 2 little puppies. But a lot of people just let them go, and it pisses me off.
Jesus Christ. Spokane no kills shelter got in trouble for killing a bunch of dogs. Anchorage shelter got in trouble for throwing living dogs. I can't even finish that, dude, on a YouTube chat.
That's fucking horrible. Yeah, we have a lot of people that have blasted the shit out of my wife is on a lot of pages. She follows a lot of dog stuff where this one guy just stomped a little puppy almost to death, and he's now sitting in jail waiting to go to prison. And so she networks the shit out of. I mean, the only way we can do what we do is my wife has a badass job where she makes really good money, and I stay at home with the dogs and everything. I'll count that I can't work because, brain tumor and other health issues.
It's so not a tumor.
I primarily take care of the dogs during the day, and she switches out later when she gets off, and so.
Are you Caesar Milan during the day? Are you the dog whisperer?
Pretty much, yeah. They all listen to me. If I tell them to shut up, they shut up. Because sometimes they'll start going off barking together in unison.
Are you like the leader of the pack? You like walk out there and they're all like, "Attention!"
Oh yes, for sure, 100%.
That's cool.
And I have several of them. Like if I start getting dressed, if I need to run to town for something, they'll start going crazy because they want to go with me.
You gotta tell them to shut the fuck up. They're just dogs, you motherfuckers.
No, I take them with me on rides because I'm trying to socialize them, normalize them being in cars, so when they get adopted, it's not something new and scary. I actually train them, teach them different things, sit, whatnot. So I teach them how to be good dogs for good people.
And now you got dire wolves to look forward to in the future.
I want some fucking dire wolves, damn it. I want to add to my herd. I guarantee.
I wonder how big those puppies are going to get. Because like they take just like regular gray wolf and splice in some DNA from dire and put a little dire in them.
Yeah.
So are they going to be like bigger? Do you think when they grow up? Because dire wolves are like significantly bigger than a wolf.
I think they rewrite their code to match the same as the dire wolf.
I
Well,
don't
they
know if
just
it was exact same as a dire wolf. I think they're going to be in between gray wolf and a dire wolf, so they're going to be
yeah,
just
Right.
they're
that
they're
smaller.
obviously going to be like a hybrid of some kind, but they have some dire wolf DNA. So
Right.
some part of dire wolf is now alive within these now wolves, which are kind of like dire wolves, but are also kind of like wolves.
I mean, ever since Game of Thrones, I wanted a dire wolf.
I wanted a dragon. Shit.
Dude, I have a dragon on my back that I got when I was in 10th grade because I've always loved dragons.
Ship all the dogs and shelters to China. I know China will be happy to take all the dogs they can get. Yeah, but we know what they're going to do with them.
Yeah, that's pretty harsh there, Preston Garvey. That's a little much.
They're gonna train them to
Do you
be
guys
kung
did I ever
fu
tell you the
animals.
story about
Chicken cow,
the
man.
English dude that I waited on that time in his China story about dogs?
I don't
I don't think so.
think so. Right. I don't think so.
All right, so this is back in the day. I had this like old fucking jolly English guy and his wife, and they would come into the place that I worked and talk to me about stuff and tell me stories about stuff. And one of the stories stuck with me for a really long time. They went on holiday to China with their grandchildren, right? They took their grandchildren with them to somewhere in China. I forget where they said, but they were there for a week or a month or whatever it was. And one of the days that they were there, they were in the Chinese market. And in the Chinese market, they had a puppy shop, right? And so they're doing their daily shopping and they're going around, and the kids really, really wanted a puppy. So they, begged and pleaded with the grandparents and talked them into buying a puppy, and they eventually did. And so they were like, okay, that's the puppy we want to get. The kids want to do some other stuff, so we're going to do some other shopping. So we'll be back in a couple of hours to pick up the puppy on the way back to the hotel, if you can keep him here. And the shopkeeper's like, you got it. So then they left and they did the rest of their shopping, and they come back to the puppy shop, and the puppy shop owner hands them a plastic bag. While they were shopping, obviously, what
Who's in the box?
the shop owner thought, of course, was that the children were picking out which dog they wanted to eat for dinner. And in his mind, he was saving them a step and, the trouble of slaughtering the puppy so that they could have it for dinner later. The kids were traumatized.
Well, yeah. Fuck. That's horrible.
Yep, that's China.
Yeah.
China's a disgusting place. But what's funny about China to me is that during COVID, this is hilarious. During COVID, they were like, you're racist if you think that the COVID-19 virus came from a Chinese lab, you racist. It actually came from a Chinese wet market where these filthy Asian people like to eat bats and shit. So, yeah, you're a racist. What, no one thinks that's funny? Fuck you.
No. I'm just thinking about it. Just like
Pigar
Y'all
says,
remember-
I've always wanted a Zool dog. What's a Zool? Oh, from fucking
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters?
you have the hellhounds, the
Yeah.
gargoyle statues. Yeah.
They just looked like bulldogs with all their hair burnt off, pretty much. Like big-ass bulldogs.
Yep.
Or Rottweilers or something. I don't know what the fuck they were. They'll fuck
Do
you
y'all-
up, though.
Shoot, they were
Yeah, I
like
remember
gargoyles.
what was it, a couple years ago when the story broke where Fauci was conducting experiments on those basset hounds.
Oh, yeah, and they made it so that they couldn't scratch or protect their face so that they were open to sand fleas. And
Yeah,
then
and they would
removed their vocal cords because they were tired of hearing them whine and bark so that they could see how long it would take sand fleas to eat through your eyeballs and nose until you're dead.
Right. Well, the ones that didn't die and that weren't being tested on, like there was a shit ton of them. A lot of the people that we network with online, we all were part of getting those dogs away from them and finding them homes.
So you're undoing the evils of Fauci? Is that what you're saying?
Trying to just help the dog life.
Good luck. Good luck with that. There's so much evil in the world.
God don't I know it.
NC Lucky says none of the military dogs that were brought back to the U.S. left in Vietnam. Probably most of them were eaten. That's terrible.
Yeah.
Did they use a bunch of dogs in Vietnam? Like the U.S. soldiers have like dog brigades to like hunt people down and shit?
Probably.
Because that would be the way to fucking do it. If you gotta find some Charlie in the fucking forest, bro, you might want to have like a pack of dogs with you.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say earlier with the big pack of dogs I have. Could you imagine some sorry motherfucker trying to break into my house?
You need to like teach them an attack word in German or something.
Right.
You're like Achtung, and then they all fucking like go and grab the fucking motherfucker and start ripping him apart.
Well, see, if they come through the front door, they're met with a big Rottweiler next to two giant Great Pyrenees brothers that will fuck you up. Like, I've knocked on the door just to test them, and they'll jump over the gate because I have to keep a gate between the kitchen and the dining room. And yeah, they'll clear that motherfucker in a heartbeat and come at the door. So I know no one's coming in that front door that ain't supposed to.
I want a Vietnam war dog now. Like, what kind of dogs do they use? Fucking like German shepherds and shit, or what do they use? I wonder.
Probably that's the most popular one. That or the fuck
Malamute. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know how we got on dog talk, but we've been talking about dogs for like fucking 30 minutes now. It's all good. It's all good. I actually haven't had a dog since that dog that I was just talking about a minute ago, the one that I had to give to the Friends League. And I'm not ashamed to admit I cried that day. I did not want to give him up, but again, it was give up the dog and keep a place to live for my children, or don't give up the dog and we're all homeless together. So I had to give him up, I guess. I guess I didn't have to, but I made that choice. And there is no more Corey. Yeah, I got a couple of Twitcher things pulled up tonight. Did you guys see this?
Priorities. So these are the tax priorities of the Trump administration that the president has laid out for members in that meeting today. No tax on tips, which is obviously a very public campaign promise that the president made. No tax on seniors' Social Security. No tax on overtime pay. Renewing President Trump's 2017 middle class tax cuts. Again, these are the president's priorities. Adjusting the SALT cap, eliminate all the special tax breaks for billionaire sports team owners, close the carried interest tax deduction loophole, tax cuts for made in America products. This will be the largest tax cut in history for middle class working Americans. The president is committed to working with Congress to get this done.
What do you guys think? Is that are we going to get all those things? No tax on tips, no tax on senior Social Security payments, no tax on overtime paid, lower taxes for small businesses. I guess that would probably be part of just the tax cut.
I wish. That'd be great.
So these are the...
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'm iffy on that.
Especially on the business, though. And it depends on, like, I was looking at it. Small businesses, yeah. Definitely lower tax.
Well, the thing is for, like, tips, people who make tips, most of us don't make enough by the end of the year to really pay much in taxes anyway. So that's like kind of like a no cost, all benefit thing for them to do.
Right.
You know, like basically at the end of the year, all of the money, in your tax return, you get all of the money back that you would have paid in taxes on your tips anyway. maybe a couple $100 different, you know, so they're not really paying that much different per person who works for tips. But the person who works for tips is like, oh my God, I don't have to pay taxes anymore. Thank you, Trump.
Enough.
So Carmelo, whatever the fuck his name is now out of prison. Stabbed the football playing brother at a track meet in the heart. Claims self-defense, even though he provoked the entire situation. Got paid, what was it, like $350,000 in GoFundMe or whatever?
Oh, it's more than that now.
Yeah,
It's
there
over
were
400.
His family, I mean, they bailed him out of jail. The judge took it was a $1 million bail down to $250,000. And my understanding is, and I could be wrong about this, but when your bail's $1 million, you pay $100,000, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when it's $250,000, the family paid $25,000.
Yes.
So for $25,000, he gets out of jail. The family has enough money left over to pay for basically the best legal defense that money can buy. And more than that, they've got enough money left over after that to buy a new house for the family and pay for security because of the death threats and things that the family's been getting. So basically, what is this teaching people? Stab them in the heart and claim self-defense, and you'll get $1 million from the public, and you'll get bailed out of jail, and everyone will think you're cool, basically. Is
Everybody
what
think
the
you're a
lesson-
hero.
This is not justice.
No.
This is not even like this isn't a system of justice. This is a system of injustice. The judge in the case said specifically that she's already taking the death penalty off of the books or off of
The
who
table.
was that? Funkmaster Flex? And they're already gone. Whatever. They're already taking death penalty off of the fucking potential penalties because reasons. I mean, this is, as far as I understand, Texas. Oh, it's Humpmaster Flex. What's up, Mr. Humpmaster?
Is that shot red?
What's up? Who's this?
Yeah, that's me.
Yep, I knew it had to be shot red.
Oh, it's shot. Okay, it's Humpmaster Flex.
Some reason I knew.
Well, Mr. Humpmaster, what we've learned is stab them in the heart. If you're black and they're white, stab them in the heart. That's what you do, and then claim self-defense.
You know what? How I'm looking at it, I'm saying it's a good thing. Because if I was the father of the kid who died, I'm suing the shit out of them for that money.
That's
Yeah,
what a lot
but-
of people are saying these days is they should be going after them for emotional distress.
Yeah, but would you rather have your son or $10 million?
Right. But we're talking about like, right after, you know. Right, obviously you will have your son, but you know, let them get their money. Yeah, because I'm coming for all of it.
From my understanding, it was the money from the Give, Send, Go was actually used to pay for the house, and then somebody else paid for his bail fund.
Of course. Of course. Yeah, so the family gets a house, and they're all like proud of their son, their delinquent, fucking murderer, violent piece of shit, knife carrying, kicked out of school, fucking sitting underneath the wrong tent, provoking someone into violence, and then stabbing them in the fucking heart son. They're patting him on the back because now they got a new house. He did more for the family than anybody. Look at
Yeah,
that.
That wasn't Carmelo's first violent encounter either. There was another one from February of this year. And it
As
turns
far
out
as I understand, he was on suspension from school at the time of the stabbing because he brought a knife into school.
Yeah.
which isn't allowed.
And his family only just moved to that area in 2021 too.
From where, I wonder?
I'm not sure.
Well, thank God they moved there. They really brought a winner with them, didn't they? Pillar of the community. Anyway, let's listen to this.
Former President Biden. He's set to deliver his first major speech since leaving office tonight. He plans to talk about what I'm told will be Social Security under the current administration, closing of offices, longer wait times, harder for seniors and people with disabilities to access earned benefits, is what Democrats have been saying today. I wanted to get the president's response, or if he plans to respond to this, and comments on what Democrats are calling cuts to Social Security.
My first reaction when seeing former President Biden was speaking tonight was, I'm shocked that he is speaking at nighttime. I thought his bedtime was much earlier than his speech tonight. I understand the topic of his speech will be Social Security. Let me make it very clear ahead of former President Biden's remarks. President Trump, is absolutely certain about protecting Social Security benefits for law-abiding, tax-paying American citizens and seniors who have paid into this program. He will always protect that program. He campaigned on it. He protected it in his first term, and he's back again to continue protecting.
See, the thing about Social Security is, if you allow a bunch of misuse, overspending, and fraud to be rampant in the system, then you necessarily steal Social Security benefits from everybody, right? Because you're at very least degrading. That's not a word. Degrading the services provided to the people who are afforded those services, because they're diluted to all of the people who don't deserve them. But ultimately, worst case, the entire system bankrupts and we all starve to death together because we're overspending. Like, that's the point. This kind of pissed me off about Doge, right? Doge found, what was it, like 100 billion, or, like some large number of money that they stopped the federal government from spending because it's basically either fraud or abuse or misallocation of funds, or stupid to spend, like money being spent in stupid ways, or whatever it is, right? Whatever the reason is that they were like, we could not spend this money and be just fine, right? Rather than taking that money and paying down the national debt or the deficit or whatever in this particular fiscal year, they just increased the spending in the military and wiped out all of the gains that they made. And the problem with that is the existential threat of debt. The existential threat that if we continue on our current path of spending and not reforming our taxation or spending, right? We're just like running up the credit card more and more and more, figuratively, every year. We're going to end up like Venezuela. We're going to end up like post-Soviet Russia after the fucking Cold War ended and the fucking ruble went to nothing. We're going to end up like, I don't know, countries that go through hyperinflation, like, what's the African country where they got like a fucking $1 trillion bill, right?
Well,
whatever. It doesn't matter. You guys know.
Name any at this point.
You get the fucking point. And that is an existential threat that if we do not get under control, we do not fucking rein in the spending, like the fuck now, because the sooner we do it, the easier it's going to be. If we don't do it now, it's going to be even harder later. We're going to have that much more to pay back later. Like, man, it's going to end badly. And we're going to be in a situation where you're going to have to bring a wheelbarrow full of fucking dollar bills to the grocery store to get a sack of groceries, And that's a situation that they've dealt with, like in Venezuela specifically, right? Like their dollar went to nothing. They had a pretty good economy, like they're based on like the oil production that they're making and all of the food that they produce and all this other stuff. It was like one of the richest countries in South America, so rich to the point where they're like, we need to really think about distributing this money to the poorer classes and start like these communist socialist fucking programs that inevitably end up bankrupting a country, and bringing an economy
Zimbabwe?
down, and yeah, I mean that's what happens every fucking time. Zimbabwe, I think that's right.
Yeah.
But the point is, it's mathematically inevitable if we don't do something now. And the longer we wait, the more inevitable that is. And so it's an existential threat on our country. If we don't get this problem under control, we're not going to have a fucking country. And that's just a reality that I guess future us is going to have to deal with, or maybe our kids, you know, if they can make it last that long. But I doubt it. At this point, it's going to be us. So, yeah, this problem's right around the corner. And then the other part about it is, if we don't choose what spending to stop and to start and to control and to whatever right now, and make some hard choices about things that, you know, are going to hurt some people, then the choices will be made for us in the future. And the people that will be hurt is everyone, and there won't be a choice. So, again, 38 trillion isn't bad. Zimbabwe, $100 trillion bill. That's true. I have one. It cost me $2.50 to get. Slow clap, buddy. That's awesome.
Nice.
Did you guys hear about the shooting at Texas high school today?
No.
Nope.
That makes sense. It's in Texas, though. Or was he aiming for the heart?
Know what?
No, he was
To
black,
be honest,
he was
to be
black.
honest,
yes, that's what people were.
I think there was one in LA too.
Was he black too?
Yeah.
Oh,
damn it. Damn it.
Oh, the school shootings are happening. Okay, so this is something that like the fucking retarded left has always been like so uppity about. Like, how many black kids are shooting up this? Well, if you actually look at the statistics, it's more than the white kids, but they're never fucking as publicized as they are when the white kids do it, you know?
So the white kids
I grew up around.
White kids actually have a plan, you know.
I mean, you might got there, Leo. I mean, I remember the '90s. Remember they used to bring up guns to school and stuff. Always some gang fights and shit going on.
It also came out recently that girl with the Nashville shooting was going to target a school that was mostly black and didn't want to look racist, so she targeted that white Christian school then.
Oh yeah.
I remember the 80s when you would have pickup trucks driving away from the high school with gun racks in the back window.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And that was just normal. I remember the 80s when the fucking grocery store was also a gas station, was also a bait shop, was also a fucking FFL. And you can
Never
get
seen
anything
nothing
from
like
an
that.
SKS to your fucking your 2% milk.
Don't they still have those? Like in the South?
In a small town.
Oh.
There's a couple in Alaska that are like that, where it's like a general store that sells guns.
Well, it has to be.
Yeah,
Dana
have a
says you-
couple of
all-
gun stores.
Iraq veteran 8888 on X lately. 8888 wasn't about NASCAR. Why is he saying a bunch of stuff about this stabbing shooting that happened? I bet is what you're.
No, he's talking about World War II and a certain small little country that we're always giving money to.
Israel.
Mhm.
Israel.
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 I think it's about Ukraine.
See if we can find him real quick. Everyone's like, Iraq veteran has gone full retard. Okay, here he is. I love the Beretta, blah, 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 blah. Something about that. Paternity tests are illegal in Israel without a court order and must be carried out by government approval. What? Nobody's ever mad at me because I'm wrong, but because I've challenged their carefully curated and crafted lies. What are we talking about here, Eric? If General Patton was alive today, he would shit a brick. I care more about being on the right side of history than being liked. Quoting Thomas Sowell. Tolerance has gotten our people nowhere. Most people that complain about a rifle not shooting under 1 inch aren't capable of. Okay, well, that's, that's not controversial.
Here's one.
What does that meme say?
Oh. Well, that's kind of an issue.
I've seen this one.
Although I will say that I don't like the extremists from the Jews either. When the Jews are all fucking crazy, like you ever see like the fucking like the Jewish kids in Israel that like spit on fucking Christians as they go by?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It's like
And then
that's
there's-
not cool either, bro. Like I should be able to fucking punch a Jewish kid in the face if he does that. But if you do that in Israel, you're probably, you know what I mean? Like that ain't good. Like
Right.
Then there's that one rabbi who's always talking about drinking Christians' blood and all that stuff.
yeah, there's some fucked up shit there, dude. There honestly
I know.
is.
This is over here.
Yeah, notice the Orthodox looking ones talking a lot of mess.
Are you talking about the one that be with Ben Shapiro?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think Shumley.
Right. Is that the
Rabbi?
one that that the one who hate Candace Owens?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hate her ass.
To be honest, that's why I don't give a damn about what goes on in Israel.
I don't either.
Yeah.
They both really don't like us.
Nope.
Yeah, that's
And
what
one
I'm
just like us
saying.
for our money. Right.
Well, I don't know, man. I know you can't blame everybody of a certain religion for things, but you can blame Israel for some things, can't you?
Yeah.
And you should be able to blame Israel for some things without being anti-Semitic. You're saying things that a specific country did policy-wise is bad, not all Jews, whatever. You know what I mean? So that's like a line that I think gets blurred, and then they attack you for if you happen to have anything to say that's controversial or negative about Israel as a whole. Then you get labeled an anti-Semitic automatically. But I think that when you're criticizing, you need to be careful because of that, right? You need to be like very specific about the policy or whatever and who is responsible, and not the group of people. You know what I mean?
Right.
But whatever.
What is a dumb comment, Josh?
Jedi Queen dropped in $2.
Did I urge?
What a dumb comment. Maybe from me. I don't know. What did I say? What did I say, Josh?
Or it could be me.
Or me.
I know I
Shit.
dropped them jewels.
Shit, it'll be the fucking post from Iraq veteran.
All I know is like when the Nazi Germany like fucking started trying to exterminate Jews, a couple of them escaped to America and created the nuclear bomb to drop on Germany as revenge. Like if anyone is like if God's got anyone's back, you know what I mean? But I think with great power comes great responsibility, and they're probably doing a fucked up job right now with their responsibility.
I mean, I do understand Israel's position. They surrounded. It's a sliver of a country. Just a small piece that's just surrounded by a bunch of enemies. I think you have to be a little aggressive in order to control that little small section you got. I understand that. But again,
He got fired from the Gun Owners of America for what he's been posting.
Yep.
God damn.
Israel is a cat in the middle of a dog park.
yep.
Well, plus there's a lot of people who have like Israeli derangement syndrome or like Jew hate derangement syndrome or something like that. I don't know what you call it. But every problem ultimately that's the worst part of it is what the Jews did and what Israel's doing and blah blah blah. And if you talk about something in Africa, then they're gonna somehow loop it back around to Israel and what the Jews did and blah blah blah. And you can never get away from this. So, like, everything's that. And if you don't understand that, you're a fucking retard. It's like, God damn, dude. I guess I'm a retard because I don't agree.
I still want to know about the Jew tunnels. What was that about?
I think honestly, dude, that was just rent's goddamn expensive in New York, and the Jews were like, fucking, they like saving money.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
they sure do. Yeah.
So they found a way to save a bunch of money on rent. I don't see what the problem is.
No.
I honestly think that's it, dude. I don't think there's anything more to it. Like, were they like doing some weird fucking rituals down there? I don't know. Maybe. Like,
I'm hoping that's what I want. Right, I want to be some weird rituals going on, some type of conspiracy.
Dude, I grew up with, like, my best friend was Jewish. We like went to synagogues. Like, I've never seen any weird Jewish rituals. Like, they do this thing where they read in Hebrew, and I don't know what they're saying all the time. So maybe, I don't fucking know. Oh shit! NC Lucky says Argentina related classified documents a couple of weeks ago. H-man Hitler lived until 1964 and had 2 children. I believe that. Honestly, dude, these days, all of these conspiracy theories coming out, like, you're gonna have to, like, disprove them at this point.
Yeah, I agree with that. There's too much evidence showing that he got down to Argentina.
It turns out everything's a fucking lie, and every conspiracy theory has been true, and everything that the fucking people have been saying that are like, oh, that guy's crazy, tinfoil hat wearing fucking aliens, right? Like, yeah, it turns out every one of them has been fucking right about just about everything that has come out so far.
Pretty much.
And the only people who haven't been right so far are the things that haven't come out yet, is what it seems like.
It's all delayed reality.
Whoo. Oh man, have you guys been enjoying the motorcycle vids?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been good.
A couple I've seen. Yeah, they're cool.
I'm putting together another one right now. I just filmed one today, and I went to all the hooligan places around my house. It was fun. I found some new ones too. I guess let's go back to Twitter. See what else I posted about.
And now, the nations of the world, brought to you by Donald Trump. United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru, Republic, Dominican, Cuba, Caribbean, Greenland, El Salvador, 2, Puerto Rico, Colombia, Venezuela, Honduras, Guyana, and still Guatemala, Bolivia, then Argentina, and Ecuador, Chile, Brazil, Costa Rica, Belize, Nicaragua, Bermuda, Bahamas, Tobacco, San Juan, Paraguay, Uruguay, Suriname, and French Guiana, Barbados, and Guam, Norway, and Sweden, and Iceland, and Finland, and Germany, now in one piece. Switzerland, Austria, Czechoslovakia, Italy, Turkey, and Greece, Poland, Romania, Scotland, Albania, Ireland, Russia, Oman, Bulgaria, Saudi Arabia, Hungary, Cyprus, Iraq, and Iran, there, Syria, Lebanon, Israel, Jordan, both Yemen, Kuwait, and Bahrain, the Netherlands, Luxembourg, Belgium, and Portugal, France, England, Denmark, and Spain.
Okay, that's enough. Jesus. You guys remember that?
Animaniacs.
Yeah, it was from Animaniacs, exactly.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. Not good enough to finish.
For Trump singing Billie Jean.
I'm just here trying to make government more efficient, eliminate waste and fraud, and so far we're making good progress, actually. So our savings at this point exceed $4 billion a day.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very significant.
You think you'll wind up getting to $1 trillion?
Yeah.
of savings.
I mean, unless we're stopped, we will get to $1 trillion of savings.
And that stuff can be translated. I mean, we've been talking, we had Russell Vogt, the OMB director, on earlier, through very rescission authority, impoundment authority. But I believe you said it earlier, it's an audit that will not gather dust on shelves. This is actually going to wind up with real savings, bend the spending baseline down.
Yeah. I'm just here trying to make government more efficient.
Well, that's it on that one. What do you guys think? Is Elon doing a good job?
Yes.
Yeah, so far so good.
We need like 10
He's
of them.
pissing off the left. Right. He's pissing off the left, so that lets you know he is doing a great job.
That's honestly been a pretty good benchmark for whether or not someone is on the side of good, is who is attacking them, right? If there's a certain group of media personalities and whatever's attacking someone, that it's like, you know that they're doing good.
Yes.
I mean, that's how I got behind Trump so quickly. Because like all the media people started attacking Trump, and I'm like, well, all the people I hate fucking hate this guy, so I'm gonna start liking him even more. Because I already liked him before that, you know. Like if you go back to those early chats, in like 2015, before when Trump was coming down the escalator and stuff, within the chats there were people who liked him and there were people who didn't. I was one of the people who liked him from the get-go. I voted for Trump 3 times now.
I didn't. I was going for Ted Cruz at the time. But
yeah, and I forget, like Matt liked someone else, and he was reluctant about Trump or whatever. And God, I forget who Ray was for, but Ray was in the conversation back then, and Ray was all advocate. And I was like, wasn't the only person, but I felt like I was like in the minority of people who felt like Trump was going to be good. Like I didn't think that he had a chance in hell, to be honest. At very first,
was it Rand
going to be
Paul?
Hillary Clinton, 100%.
I think it was Rand Paul they might have been going for, maybe. And I know the Republicans wanted Rubio.
I would have been okay with Rand Paul. Rand Paul would be a good choice. I remember when Ron Paul ran for president, and back then I didn't have a YouTube channel, but I was on Facebook. And I got on Facebook and it was like, oh man, I really like this Ron Paul guy. He says a bunch of stuff. And I got attacked fucking by so many people for that. It was crazy.
Yeah, me and my friends back in the day, we were big time Ron Paul people.
Yeah, specifically it was my aunt who's like old as shit and lives on Social Security and stuff, and was like, yeah, if Ron Paul gets in, then she freaked the fuck out, dude. I can't believe he would support him.
Yes,
Yeah.
Gen X. RuPaul would have been better, you know. I would have definitely voted.
Rubio, to be honest, is actually doing a pretty good job. Yeah, I do like Marco Rubio, but do you think he'd be doing such a good job if Trump wasn't fucking leading the way?
No, because he was a shitbag senator before that.
Tell us how you really feel.
Oh, I'm sorry. Marco Rubio looks like a sleazeball. And the way he drank water that time, he will never be president.
Yeah. Stopped in the middle of a speech, grabbed the
It was just, he was like nervous. You could tell like he panicked for a second and then like darted for the water. It was like, what the like, you're obviously not cool under pressure, bro. It wasn't even about the water. Is MAGA bigger than Trump at this point? No, because if Trump died today, I think MAGA would die with him. I don't know. What do you guys think? If Trump suddenly had, like, God forbid, like a heart attack or something, do you think that J.D. Vance and the movement would carry forward with all of the agenda and get things done like Trump would? I don't know.
I think so.
I mean,
maybe part of it.
Still,
Maybe if he died like a martyr, you know? then it would be like all of his fucking decrees would be like fucking written in stone, you know, like commandments.
I mean, I would say not even that. Like once you leave office, what's going to happen then anyway?
Yeah, that's another point that's kind of scary. And if like the Democrats take control back in 2024 or 2028, sorry,
Right.
then they're just
'Cause
going to
to be
replace
honest,
everything.
right? I was about to say, to be honest, you can't let them back into the White House or have them control. I mean, it's going to happen, but I don't know. We can't have them back in power.
Trump has inspired at least 2 generations of local candidates at this point because of the mega movement. It's definitely bigger than him at this point. And I feel like you'd have other people like Vivek step up and take over if Trump were to die.
I mean, if the Democrats go back to being 90s Democrats, maybe I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Well, the thing is, 90s Democrats are now Republicans.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Right.
if you were a true 90s like Bill Clinton when he ran in 1994 or whatever the fuck that was. 92? I forget.
Yes,
A
92.
lot of the policies that he ran on were like clean up the border. Like there was a lot of illegal immigration employment stuff that they pushed forward. So like if you were an employer and you knowingly hired a illegal immigrant, there was like big fines. So there was the Real ID fucking verification network that they set up back then. That's now a fucking joke, by the way. You know, like anyone can get through, but back then when it was new, it had teeth and stopped people from, you know, having jobs. And yeah, they actually like kind of at least feigned caring about, you know, the working class back then. And now they only care about the disaffected minorities, because the disaffected minorities basically outnumber everybody else if you put them all together.
Yep.
The problem is all the disaffected minorities fight with one another. So if Trump crowns the successor, we will go forward. Who would be the successor? Would it be Barron?
Like he still got a while to go.
It would have to be somebody that's actually presidential age. So it would be like a JD, Vivek, somebody like that, probably.
I mean, Barron definitely in the future, yeah.
Do you think any of his sons will run for president at some point?
I see Bear more than his oldest son.
I don't
agree.
think so.
I could see Don Jr. running for like U.S. Senate or something.
Right.
Yeah.
I like Don Jr. I don't know. I
Unless
don't know if I like
he
him.
gets in it.
He's pro 2A. I like that about him.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Unless he take over the NRA or something, but I don't think that would work.
Did you see that Trump basically formed a Second Amendment committee to go after fucking states that are violating the Second Amendment rules?
Yes.
Yeah, because they're doing a little bit at my state, but my state is now trying to pull some bullshit that it was a whole poll. It was like 2 out of 7 or 2 out of 6, whatever. More Democrats than Republicans. There was only like 2 Republicans that said no, that they're going to try to put pretty much if we have you're going to have a permit to purchase. That's what they're thinking they're going to try to do here.
Yeah,
I need
that's
them to hurry the fuck up.
Doesn't that seem like an infringement?
Pretty much.
It's literally taking us back to Jim Crow.
What is Jim Crow?
The Jim Crow era, when you had like 2 basically racial segregation and stuff like that. That's exactly where all the permit to purchase laws came from. So it makes sense why Bloomberg people love him.
That's another thing that's funny about Democrats. They're always like the secret racists. Like the most racist people that I've ever met are like liberal white women when it comes down to it. And they're talking with each other in private while drunk or whatever it is, you know, and then like the truth fucking comes out. It's like, God damn, fucking Karen.
Oh, they do a lot of interesting stuff. Stuff I don't want to say.
Dance on poles?
Certain polls.
Sorry, I'm grabbing a drink. I'm thirsty and my throat is dry. Ah. What else do we have on the Twitter? Oh, more about this. That was back when it was $100,000 and I was already outraged. It's only gotten worse. See if you can pick out the Democrat.
All of them.
Option D, all of the above.
Right.
It's funny.
Although C, I was although C is more conservative than all of them put together, though. When you think about it.
Yeah, I guess in certain respects, but there's plenty of shit that C would disagree with conservatives about, so you can't call them conservative.
Right.
Well, they want to take and implement Sharia law into our country is what it is.
Yeah, and impose the jizya. You know what the jizya is?
I'm only thinking jizz.
Well, it's a tax on all Muslims so that the Muslims can basically afford to sit around and do nothing while the Christians and Jews and other people who are allowed to live in the country have to work and pay taxes so that they can just chill, smoke their hookah and occasionally fucking violate a woman or whatever the fuck they do. Pass the boy around. What's that called? The dancing boy?
Bati something like Bati Bachi or some shit.
Bati Bachi. So.
The DNC and Chuck Schumer are suing Trump over his executive order to block non-citizens from voting. This should tell you everything you need to know. It's true. The people fighting for non-citizens to vote in elections are not your friends. Oh, here's internal FBI chat logs show the FBI imposing a gag order about the New York Post story on Hunter Biden laptop the day it came out.
Speaking of Democrats, Cory Booker, U.S. Senator, is now trying to take a band of Democrats down to El Salvador to bring back MS-13 gang members.
What the fuck?
Make sure to swallow louder, Honda. I'm trying to hear it all.
Oh, here you go. This is for you, Leia.
We're going one step forward, two steps back.
There's also a Democrat woman from California today who admitted there's at least 70 Democrats in our U.S. government right now that are shadow government against Trump.
I swear that's what you've sounded like before.
Yeah, whatever. Whatever.
That way in the back of the throat.
Yeah, that's where you gotta let it hit it. Hit the back and let it slide down.
Like a glizzy.
Laughing still hurts a little bit.
Damn, bro, you must have hit the ground hard.
Yeah.
You had surgery or something, or what happened?
Oh,
a wise doctor once wrote. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just fell off my bike. That's it.
Honestly, out of all of the motorcycle, bicycle, and fucking electric bike riding that I've done in my life, the most hurt I've been on anything is on an e-bike. Yeah, because like when I fell, if my arm went above my head, like my arm stretched out to catch me, but like it couldn't catch me, and it snapped my fucking arm out of the fucking, like my shoulder out of the socket, dude.
Ooh.
Like the rotator cuff got torn. And honestly, like I've gotten most of it back, but it's still not 100%. I probably never will be again. But that's okay. It's part of getting old, I guess. You just fucking start falling apart and things don't work the way that they used to.
There's only a few things they care about working as they get old.
How old are you guys? I forget. Leo, you're almost my age. You're like 1 year younger than me or something.
42.
Yeah, you're 1 year younger than me.
Yeah, I'm the youngin', so I'm about to be 34 in a couple months.
Yeah, you're like 15. Got it.
I turned 40 back in January.
Ohio, you're about to be 40. What are you?
I turned 40 back in January.
You're 45. Got it. And then Lead on Steel, how old are you?
40.
Yeah, we're like all the same age-ish. Except for Mr. Master Flex, fucking baby batter, fucking fetus boy over there.
He's still full of life and hopes and dreams.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, don't forget, we still have the people that used to come by, man. We still had Jolly, so he was way younger than me.
I didn't get any of that.
Oh, I'm talking about robot.
Right, it was all robot talk. Yeah.
Well, you hear me clear now?
Yes.
How old are you,
still
Daniel?
got.
You're like 10 years younger than me, aren't you, Daniel? You're like 34 or something, 33. Don't worry, you'll be old soon. I remember 34 like it was yesterday. It doesn't even seem like that long ago.
Brian is 40.
I'm saying we still have Jolly. He's the youngest, technically.
Oh, 30 wasn't that long ago either, though, to be honest. I remember when I turned 30. Like, I was 29, and my birthday happened, and I had a couple days off of work, and I came back to work, and people were like, "Oh, it was your birthday. How old did you turn?" And I was like, what? How old are you? What did you turn? You said how old? 30. What did you say?
Brian,
I don't hear what you said. I'm fucking 30, all right? Leave me the fuck alone. I'm like, that was the attitude, bro.
Bam.
I didn't like it, but then it was okay. Because I'm like, hey, 30's the youngest of the 30s, so we're still doing pretty good. And then, like, every year that argument loses a little bit of fucking validity, you know? And then you turn 40. And for me, dude, 40 was a big one because, it wasn't a big one, actually. I did the math wrong because I just didn't care about how old I was at a point, I guess. Wasn't thinking about it. And I had turned 39, but in my mind, I was 38 still. And so when I turned 40, I was like, oh, I'm turning 39. And then I did the math, and I'm like, oh, I'm turning 40? Like, ugh. Almost AARP eligible. At 40, you're officially closer to being dead than born. I believe that, honestly. The amount of smoking and drugs I've done in my life, I'm surprised I'm still here, kind of.
Still got that dog in you. I got that fight.
Well, I stopped doing the drugs and the fucking smoking, so we're good. I vape mostly with my volcano vaporizer thing, which takes out most of the carcinogens. So I'm basically like smoking carcinogen free these days. Not 100%, but like 92%. Ghost Shadow says, I watched Neil Armstrong set foot on the moon and live live black and white TV.
Oh.
How old are you, Shadow?
Jesus.
Like 65 or something?
Probably like 80.
Nah, he's not that old. Although, what year was the moon landing?
69, wasn't it? Yeah.
Which means...
Yeah, he is probably 65 or 67.
50. You'd have to be at least 65 to remember that. Yeah, dude. We're all going to be old, don't worry. And if you're not old yet, just keep breathing. You'll be old soon. Jedi Queen is only 22? Well, again, I remember 22 like it wasn't that long ago either. You know, I was fucking around climbing mountains and shit.
I don't.
22 didn't hurt very much. I remember that. I could like stay up all night and drink and do a bunch of shit and then go to sleep for like 2 hours on the floor, you know, and fucking wake up with like a potato chip stuck to my face and like wash my face off and look like $1,000,000 and go to work on 0 sleep and function just fine all fucking day. You know, like 20 was great. 22 was great.
22, I remember like we was fucking around at YouTube a lot when YouTube was a grand old time.
Yeah, 22, YouTube wasn't even alive yet for me. Like, Facebook wasn't even a thing yet. I think MySpace was around.
MySpace
was
was Black Planet. Yep, tagged.
Yep.
Dude, Napster. Remember Napster? That was the shit.
Oh,
I think, yeah. I think YouTube was around, and I think first it was like dude, was it break.com?
I can't remember when
I think them and YouTube.
There was just like some point where I was just like, oh, this is cool. Like you can watch videos here, but I don't remember when that was.
I remember I was like around. That was like near the end of high school, but that's when you was doing all that, just like messing around and stuff. But I didn't really get into interacting with people on YouTube till like that's what I was like in my 20s, because I was more in the anime community space.
Honestly, though, like I didn't have a computer or a smartphone until, gosh, dude, the boys were probably 5 years old ish. So that would have been like 14 years ago ish. That's about when I started watching YouTube and stuff.
Makes sense. I didn't get no smartphone till like late high school.
Yeah, what year? That doesn't mean shit unless you're the same age as me.
I know. Well, that was okay. 2008. Let's say that or something.
Yeah, that was about the same time for me that I finally got a smartphone. Although I didn't even have a cell phone until I was like 20, honestly.
I still have my first computer, and it's right next to me, and it still works.
I still got my first cell phone. Well, 2 of them, the Sidekick and the flip phone.
I have my first cell phone too.
My first computer I built from pieces that I pieced together from friends and bought a $50 video card to put in. And I had that thing for like 6 years. Dude, I used that computer for so fucking long. And then I had a iMac for a while. And that thing was kind of cool, but it's a Mac, so it kind of sucks too, you know? And then the iMac started overheating, and then I built this thing. So this is technically my 3rd computer plus a laptop that I have. Yeah, anyway. You're the same age as Matt, Miss Chasing Ghosts. Matt's old. What is he, like 46 now?
Yeah, something like that.
He's like 4 years old. He's like 46, 47. I can't remember.
I think he's 46.
I thought he was 4 years older than me, but I guess it could be 3.
I think he turns 46 this year.
Does anyone know how old Matt is in the chat? We need confirmation from the chat. Someone out there knows. I thought he was turning 47 this year.
I thought he said 79 one time.
I thought he said 77, but maybe I'm wrong. That'd put him 5 years older than me.
Yeah,
no, that's my other friend. That's Zarati. Zarati was born in 77.
What?
Oh, it's Chasing Ghosts is 77 too. Okay, so 77. He is 5 years older than me, which means he's 48. No matter how old I am, Matt's always going to be 5 years older. Yes. That makes me happy, if you can't tell.
Wait, I was saying, isn't Duke close to my age?
Yeah, Duke's like 32 or something.
Yeah.
Duke's only 32.
Yeah, I know. He sounds like he's a straight baby boomer when it comes to technology, which is funny. Like he literally can't fucking figure out technology. It's hilarious.
I thought he was older than me. I thought he was like 37, 38.
Duke is over 35, says Calhoun. I don't know. I don't know
I
how
remember he was near like 35, kind of like he was not too far from me, like a few years.
Well, whatever, bro. Again, keep breathing. We'll all be old soon. It sucks. Those gray hairs on your head and your chin start getting grayer and whiter and fewer and farther between.
I already had the gray hair since 12.
I got more something.
Those lines under your eyes get darker and thicker, and oh man, naps start feeling better. That's what I've noticed. The older I get, the more I love naps. I fucking love naps. When I was in my 20s, I didn't take a single nap the entire time I was in my 20s for like over a decade. 0 naps ever. And now I would like to take one every day if I can. Anyway, so we went from dogs to fucking Hitler to the Jews.
I'm an ally.
To being old and taking naps. It's been a hell of a chat, boys. But I think it's time to wind it down. My voice is feeling a bit dry. And I have to get ready for work tomorrow. So I got a bunch of shit I got to do. So I got to fucking get my ass in gear and do some things. So we're going to do that. But I do appreciate everyone for being here tonight. I am working on another video here in the editing process. Another motorcycle video, if you guys like those. Fucking leave a comment, bro. Leave a comment on one, and I'll respond to it. I'm trying to fucking grow the channel a little bit in that direction, if anyone's interested, you know. But all that being said, deuces y'all, Sean P. and Fridge, Trooper to Shabba to Pressure, Badacat Care, Prick the Troops. 2 words, made in America, and call me, motherfucker.
Bye.
I want to talk to you, motherfucker. Call me. Call me. Call me.